Hi, and welcome back. It's Friday the 5th, and we're looking at a completely full show this evening, even more so than usual. I'll elaborate more in just a second. We're also looking at a pretty much dry and warm weekend ahead. Temperatures are climbing back up to roughly where they should be. We're also going to see some heat and some humidity, and at the first of next week, we'll see all of that change. An updated forecast for you in just a few moments. To try to make this as brief as possible, I know I've made this statement to some folks from time to time, but kind of personal how this show comes across and appears each and every day for obvious reasons. And on a good day, when everything goes completely smooth and as well as I could ever imagine, I still go home wishing I had done maybe a bit more, as odd as that sounds. But that's indeed how it is. So on the days that things don't go well, you can imagine where my thoughts are. Yesterday's program, I came in at 6 o'clock because I started early today because of the structure fire that happened early yesterday morning, and had the show done and had it completely done in enough time for me to get out and make an evening meeting. Perfect. And then just for complete human error on my part, the individual who was coming in to play the program for me last night remained locked out and was unable to do so, and I was unreachable. That is the reason for the show being late and or missed. Depending on what time you tried to watch, it was just a different scenario at each time frame, but it was with my apologies. It wasn't a breakdown or a malfunction, but a mental one, and all on my part with my apologies. So right now we're trying to get caught up with just a few headlines that I had on last night's program, as well as adding to that list. We'll talk about a semi-accident in Fayette County, how it relates to Magoffin County. Some pictures from the scene, an auto accident, a young woman flown out last night from Magoffin County. And I just got some good news. Remember the movement they had to try to have a carriage ride on the Dawkins Trail a while back? Well, apparently we've made an impression with some folks pretty much high up in Kentucky, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. Indictments returned by a Magoffin County grand jury released yesterday, and a whole lot of other news and information. We'll begin right now with one of the reports that I had on last night's program. There is a structure fire that took place in Sagersville morning before last, and just about 3 doors up from my residence.
Upon our arrival, it was fully engulfed, belonging to H.C. Prater. We had mutual aid agreement from District 3 Fire Department. They brought a tanker. We actually for manpower, but we got a tanker. As you can see, it's a total loss. Cause and origin hadn't been determined yet. We tried to determine that by the insurance company to see the cause and origin of it.
Any indication as to where it started? And I know it was a rental property that was unoccupied. Were utilities still on?
Yes, utilities were still on. The location of the fire is in on my left side, the far part of the house back in the back corner is the initiated point of the origin.
And that was evident from this video. You can see where the floor has already fallen in, where the fire burned the hottest and the longest, and that's where it was believed to have started. Still no idea as to what may have ignited the blaze. That room was full of clothing left behind from a tenant which has still not completed a move out of the rental home. The heat, not surprisingly, hot enough to melt a plastic or fiberglass road sign nearby, but hot enough to melt the siding on a home across the street. The property was owned by H.C. Prater, who told me that he knew that it was at least 82 years old because it was a structure that he was born in and had belonged to his family. Another report that I aired last evening that you may have missed given the gravity of will run again this evening as it pertains to our drug problem, not the prescription pill problem that we have been focusing on for so many years. That indeed still is a problem, or the meth explosion, pardon the pun. Johnson County seeing meth labs for years now in great numbers. Magoffin County seeing a really high number of them here, as you've seen in the program. As of late, heroin making its way into eastern Kentucky. But it is discussion about hepatitis C and how the numbers say that not only is it a dire situation, but it could literally lead to an outbreak possibly of HIV. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has done a study, published and released just last month, and it says that hepatitis C cases across 4 neighboring and adjoining states, Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia, have more than tripled from the course of 2006 to 2012. And out of all those states, Kentucky leads not just them, but the entire United States in the rate of acute hepatitis C. 4.1 cases for every 100,000 residents. 4 out of every 100,000 might not sound like a great deal, but it is more than 6 times the national average. And when you narrow down the scope from the general population to drug users and or addicts, it becomes much more narrow. The study here mentioned says that they tracked more than 500 drug users since 2008, 70% of which are now testing positive for Hep C. Meanwhile, local governments and states across the nation are trying to figure out an answer, how they can slow down or stop the situation, maybe with the implementation of needle exchange programs. And of course, there's always been concern and thought about drug treatment and of course incarceration. But it's reached small communities where hepatitis C was once just a problem out in urban communities, and it affected only minorities. Now, it is relatively young, white drug users. They also gave some other examples. For example, in Scott County, Indiana, 160 people have tested positive for HIV in 5 months. You go to New York City, with more than 8 million people, just 49 users tested positive in all of 2013. Meanwhile, here in Kentucky, the two largest cities in our state, Lexington and Louisville, are going to launch programs this summer, we're told, for needle exchange on a local level here in Sagersville, a city with a population of about 2,000. Our local police chief says it is a predominant problem.
7 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10. We have a lot of people that use needles, and I'm sure that they don't get a fresh new one every time. So, yeah, we've got our officers most of the time use rubber gloves if a needle's involved, just to be for our safety, not counting the subject safety, and so we don't get needle stuck.
And being positive for Hep C is not something that each subject always informs police about.
Some do, some of them be honest with us, but most of the time they never tell us a word, and we take it upon ourselves to use the precaution because of hepatitis C.
And sometimes they do find out. They find out when someone may be open about their situation, or when they get stuck, have to be tested, or when they find evidence like this. This is a portion of a note that was discovered, part of evidence in an arrest that I covered a few months ago here in the city of Sagersville. All the individuals were in a car. There were needles, other drugs, and paraphernalia, and at least one of them informed authorities that he or she had Hep C, and another one had this in a ledger. On their to-do list for the day, the following: place an OTC order with WellCare and then put the info in the book, fill out a 6-month review for food stamps and turn back into the local office, and then find a primary doctor to do blood work, check liver, and schedule Hep B and C treatments. To a report that I also ran last night, but still police and family members hoping for some information to be forwarded to them, hopefully some good news regarding a missing McGoffin County woman. I just reached out to Kentucky State Police Trooper Jimmy Stratton, who confirms that there's no new information to release at this time. They are still being forced to investigate any and all avenues into the disappearance of 40-year-old Tabitha Ann Dotson, who, as I've told you for the past couple of days, disappeared from her residence, last seen sometime around 11 o'clock Monday night. If you have any information about Dotson's whereabouts, the 40-year-old mother of two, described as about 195, about 4'11", with jeans, black boots, and a black Harley T-shirt, you can call the Kentucky State Police or the family at 349-6037. Again, last seen Monday night. They are unaware if she may have gotten in with somebody, may have been a victim of foul play, but any and all information at this point could prove fruitful as to finding out the whereabouts and condition of Dotson. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. An auto accident after 8 o'clock last evening resulted in a young mother being airlifted to a trauma center after she was experiencing some medical problems after a single vehicle accident on 460 out of Sagersville. This is some video brought to us from the scene. A single vehicle crashed near the old car wash on 460. The car, we are told by authorities, confirmed to be driven by a Randall Kraft, with him his wife, who was said to be about 17 weeks pregnant, and another passenger. It happened last night around 8:22. The driver explained to authorities that a deer popped out and left him with nowhere to go but to swerve to try to miss the collision, and in doing so came into contact with a concrete or metal pillar to protect the building, and then struck the building in and of itself. She, that being the expectant mother, exhibited some issues with her pregnancy, and out of fear of complications, we understand that air evac out of West Liberty was called and landed at a landing zone established at the Bloomington Volunteer Fire Department. The accident victim was first to be airlifted to UK, but due to weather restrictions had to be diverted to Cabell Huntington, where her condition at this time is unknown. The passenger in the vehicle was taken by TransStar Ambulance Service to the ARH Medical Center in West Liberty, while the driver, Mr. Kraft, refused medical treatment at the scene. Following are photographs from a semi that overturned on I-75 earlier today in Fayette County. It pertains to local news, as we believe the truck was being operated and is owned by T&B Recycling here in McGoffin County. These are photographs taken of an accident earlier today in the southbound lane of I-75, roughly around Newtown Pike, I'm told, in Fayette County, where traffic had to be shut down for a considerable amount of time to clean up the vehicle as well as the spillage. A semi overturned that was hauling recyclable material. We believe that material originated from T&B Recycling on Ivanton Road here in McGoffin County. The driver was uninjured. The cause of the collision is unknown, but you can see the mess that was left behind. The roadway was finally cleared and traffic was allowed to regain its normal, I'm sure, hectic pace. Once again, no indications as to what may have caused the big rig to overturn. Now it's time to check in and see what's happening, and there's a whole lot happening this weekend and on tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau sponsored community calendar. And first up, some birthday wishes. This says a happy first birthday today to Trenton Lee Jenkins, with a lot of love from Mommy and Daddy and a whole lot of family and friends. Very cute. Happy first birthday to Trenton Lee Jenkins. And this birthday came in on time, but it is with my doing that it's now belated. From all your friends at the Senior Citizen Center, I'm told to wish you a very happy birthday to Miss Ruth Alt. A happy belated birthday to you from all of your friends down at the Senior Citizen Center. Birthday wishes also going out, I'm told. It says a happy belated birthday wish to Ronald Watkins from your kids, Cassie, Joseph, and Ruby. They love you, Daddy, it says, and wish you many, 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 many more. And I've also got one that says a happy belated birthday, 83rd birthday to Ronald Ray Mans, with a lot of love from Shirley. Happy birthday to you. A reminder, the Emmanuel Baptist Church has got Vacation Bible School starting this Sunday through Thursday of next week, 6:30 to 8:30 nightly, and you are invited. Vacation Bible School starting Sunday, 6:30 every evening thereafter through Thursday at the Emmanuel Baptist Church. It's going to be a great weekend to take a ride and support a good cause, and you can do it all at one lick with a trail ride. The Sagersville Masonic Lodge has organized a ride, $20 per ATV or machine. They'll register starting at 9 Saturday morning at South McGoffin Elementary. They'll depart at 11. Food will be provided at Elkview for lunch. And this is their annual outreach trail ride, a wonderful time to be had and a wonderful cause. They hope that you'll join them for a great day out in the hills and maybe a little mud. A horse show is also taking place tomorrow afternoon in McGoffin County down at the equestrian rink. The McGoffin County High School dance team and boys basketball team have put it together. It will start at 6 tomorrow night. You are invited. It will also have 28 classes, and it's just $5 to get in tomorrow evening. Another reminder that they're doing it this Saturday, their monthly Pickin' and Grinnin' excursion, or event, I guess I should say. You can take an excursion yourself over to Kearney Freehold Baptist Church, where you're invited to join them for Pickin' and Grinnin' this Saturday at 7 o'clock. Revival starts this Sunday morning at 11 and then nightly thereafter at 7 at the Pine Grove Holiness Church on Route 7 above Punchin. That's beginning Sunday morning and then continuing Monday evening at 7 and then nightly thereafter. Evangelist Harm Gent will be delivering the message, and you are invited to attend. The Kentucky Mission Bible Training Center is going to be singing this weekend at the Community Freehold Baptist Church, Sagersville east of Sagersville, that is. Brother Jimmy Conley is going to be preaching. Dinner is going to be held afterwards, so come hungry and come ready to enjoy some good time in the Lord. Brother Matt Cottle, the pastor, welcomes you to the Community Free Will Baptist Church for a special presentation by the Kentucky Mission Bible Training Center. And for all Sagersville grade school students in grades K through 6, a free summer camp starts Monday. For all SGS students, grades K to 6, 9 to 3, lunch is provided. Transportation parents, that's on you. You have to get them there, but they'll see that they have a good meal and a whole lot of fun for a week of summer camp at SGS. And also Monday at 4 o'clock, it's the Operation Unite Shoot Hoops Not Drugs Tour. That's the annual Jeff Shepard Skills Tour. Combined with Operation Unite, they give everybody a free T-shirt, a free basketball for all school-aged youth, and it's going to be at the Montgomery County High School Gymnasium this Monday, 4 to 7. And a reminder, whenever you've got a birthday or anniversary or your church or organization has an announcement, this is where you let everyone know about it. And also a reminder, you can catch programming that you may have missed or want to see again on yournewstoday.com. Turning to funeral service announcements this evening, 97-year-old Emma Leela Rigsby Williams of Littorals Fork Road passed away on the 4th. Preceded in death by her husband Manfred, she survived by sons Floyd, Roger, Ronald, and Terry, daughters Patricia, Cynthia, Sue Fairchild, Patricia Sherritt, there it is, Beverly Gamble, and Mary Romack. Services are going to be held tomorrow morning beginning at 11 at the Montgomery County Funeral Home. Visitation will continue this evening. Burial will follow at the Lakeview Memorial Cemetery in Staffordsville in her honor. We've also received word of the passing of 77-year-old Donovan Finch of Johnson Fork in Sagersville, who passed away on Wednesday. He's left behind by his wife, Mary Sue Finch, daughter Mary Frances, Frederick, sons Ricky, Jimmy, Jeffrey, as well as 2 sisters and 2 brothers. Funeral services for Donovan Finch are going to be held Sunday morning at 11 from the chapel of the Sagersville Funeral Home. Burial will follow at the Tawby Cemetery on Johnson Fork. The family will welcome friends this evening after 10 o'clock tomorrow morning and prior to funeral services, once again set for Sunday at 11.
Hey guys, Jason Weffenstedt, sales manager at the all-new Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paintsville, Kentucky. Where, as you can tell behind me, we're just weeks away from opening our brand new dealership, and we want to invite everybody down to take a test drive and be entered to win a free vacation package from Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paintsville, Kentucky.
They're only weeks away from their grand opening, but they're open for business today. So come in and get entered for a vacation package to be given away at the brand new Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paintsville. 297-5066. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. The sitting Montgomery County Grand Jury returned several indictments, a count of 4, yesterday afternoon. The following individuals facing serious charges of drug trafficking, sexual abuse, theft, and other charges. Mark Minix of Allen Drive in Sagersville, who is already incarcerated in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center on a prior indictment charge of 1 count of sodomy in the first degree with a victim under the age of 12, has since been re-indicted. The supersedious indictment now adds several other counts, a total of now 6 counts to the original indictment, or for a total of 6 counts. All counts of sodomy in the first degree, all with a victim under the age of 12. The actual number of victims unknown, but it's believed to be more than 1. He now faces these new charges while still being lodged in the Big Sandy Jail. James Christopher Mortimer of Dixie in Sagersville was indicted on 1 charge of wanton endangerment in the first degree of felony. An indictment on charges brought about by Officer Jeremiah Watson of the Sagersville City Police, where he was reportedly acting in a dangerous conduct and making threats while wielding a machete, causing a potential for substantial danger to others. Cecil Crouch Jr. of Owingsville, Kentucky, was indicted by the Kentucky State Police on criminal possession of a forged instrument, 6 counts. It all relates to incidents which started back around 25th day of June of last year, where he presented checks in the amount of $3,500, $2,700, $2,900, $2,500, $2,800, and $800, all at different occasions and some on different days, to Citizens National Bank, knowing that they were forged with the intent to defraud the banking institution. Class C felonies, each count, that is 6 counts, for criminal possession of a forged instrument. And lastly, Breon Banks of Richmond, Kentucky, was indicted by the grand jury. Several serious drug-related charges: trafficking in a controlled substance, another trafficking in a controlled substance, possession of marijuana and paraphernalia, possession of a controlled substance, giving a police officer a false name. This relates to a case that I actually covered on an arrest I covered on the program several months ago, or a few months ago, when Jeremy Watson of the Sagersville City Police made a traffic stop. He recovered several dosage units of Opana. There was believed to have been some heroin, several thousands of dollars in cash from banks, and some other items. He has now officially been indicted on said charges. Now, my last story was to be one about some big news concerning, and I'll just real quickly tell you, and I'll have a report on it later because they're going to have a meeting, but apparently the Royalton Rail Trail Festival made such an impression on our Executive Director of Tourism, Elaine Wilson, and the First Lady, Jane Bashir, that they are putting their support behind an organized carriage ride here in Magoffin County. And in fact, Wilson's going to attend a local Friends of the Dawkins Line, I believe it is, meeting here sometime later this month, where they're going to try to pin down some details. So I'll shed some more light on that a little later on. But some good news, and that they tried to organize a carriage ride once before, and it fell through for some red tape, but it looks as though I don't think we'll have any problem with these ladies involved. We'll tell you more about that next time. Real quickly before I have to skate out of here, tonight a low of 61, partly cloudy. A late shower or two is possible. Don't have any on the radar for us here in the viewing area at this time, glad to say. Can't, promise you won't see a few, but right now we look to be high and dry, and that's really going to be the scenario for most of your weekend. In fact, I think temperatures are going to climb up to around 82 tomorrow. That 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms is in there. Mainly that's before 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and that is ever so slight. I think if you have a pool, or if you want to go to the Ramey pool, it's going to be a good day for it, or go to the neighbor's pool, whatever you have to do, or get out and enjoy some nice, dry, warm weather. Sunday's going to be just as good as well, but a bit warmer. We do have some late showers, but only minor and very late Sunday after a mid to even upper 80 day under mostly sunny skies. Those showers and storms potentially have been pushed off to a little later, and maybe even into your Monday afternoon. We might start off Monday on a dry note, but I think mainly after 10 or 11 we'll see some showers and thunderstorms throughout much of the day and afternoon. Temperatures holding into the mid-80s, but by Monday night and into your Tuesday, they'll ebb just a bit. Daytime highs closer to the 80, 81 degree mark on Tuesday, with only a very, very slight chance of some showers and thunderstorms. And I think that we'll even wipe out by next week a chance of showers and storms. I think even though it says 40% on your screen, I think we're going to knock that out next week, and we'll have some nice, dry, and more mild days, maybe even a few in a row.
And that's going to wrap it up for us this evening and this week here at Your News Today. A sincere thank you for tuning in and being with us each and every weeknight that I'm here. We hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we hope you start off next week with us here on Your News Today. Good night.